Hey guys, welcome back. So we have a lot going on and we've just been busy because I have yet to win the lottery and hire staff. So I've been doing all my chores today. But it's a beautiful day outside. I walked a box out to the trash and it is so damn pretty out. It's so beautiful. There's just nowhere to go and there's still a stay-at-home order. So till Friday. No one else is listening, but I'm always the one that would get caught. Everyone else can be doing it and they'll never get caught. I would be the one to get caught. Plus, compromised immune system. So I'm staying home for a while. And I've been working with the gods and I've been working with my totems and I'm just trying to get back into balance. I think 2020 has knocked a lot of people out of whack spiritually. And we made a huge amount of progress last night, but I'm being really tentative and seeing if I can hold on to it. I know at this point it's not one of the gods doing it, it's me. Sometimes even if you know you're going backwards feels safer because it's what you know. So it's one of those really tentative things right now, but we're back to International House of Awesome, tentatively. And it's all depending on me. And, I had a very long talk with Odin, and Odin's one of those teachers that will take on whatever personality he has to take on to teach you the lesson. And thankfully, we've gone from the harsher personality to Oski. And I know we've gone to Oski because Loki and Odin dragged me out of bed last night, hand to goddess, insisted, along with another deity, that I watch movies and I have one of these Kinder eggs. They're insisting. Well, I picked out this Kinder egg, and there's a bear in it, and the bear's for Oski. So it was a sign of yes, Oski is here. Yes, he's going to work with you. Yes, everyone else is here. And just that I've done all I can to take care of myself and take care of my personal life, and now it's just being prudent and waiting to see how things unfold. And therefore, I have a lot of time to actually do the spiritual work. And it's just, they understand if I need to go slow. They understand if we all need to go slow right now, because let's admit it, 2020 just feels like the year where it's more fun to do anything but our spiritual work. And you don't want to overdo spiritual stuff either, because then you're but it's a year where it feels like it's a lot more fun to watch TV. Well, watch a computer TV, watch TV, watch the news, watch a movie, watch these pandemic movies, which is a great idea now, yeah. Play puzzles, play games, play music, do anything but do our spiritual work. And they understand that. And they understand right now we need breathing room. They understand it's kind of chaotic, and when your nerves are frazzled like that, you can ask them for peace. You can ask Loki, Odin, whomever you work with for peace. Ask your totems or whomever you work with for peace. But don't force it. That would be my advice. Do not force trying to do spiritual work. I'm not forcing International House of Awesome. It's like tentatively open. And if they want to come in, but they're not doing that. It often feels like Grand Central Station. This feels very relaxed. Like the only way I could think of describing it is what you would think the lobby in heaven would feel like very calm and serene, and everyone can come and go, but everyone's being very quiet because they know the humans just absolutely shot at this moment in time. So they're all being quiet, and maybe we'll do like some spa day treatment because I can feel that coming on. And I have been keeping up my spa day stuff. I did stuff on Mother's Day, gave myself a facial. No, I actually didn't do the facial, but I did some other stuff. I did some nice stuff. And, it's time to remember self-care and to not try to force things. It's why I've kind of been slowing down a little bit. There's this idea going around of, people are actually going into burnout because they're using this time to try to better themselves, and that's great, but they're pushing themselves way too hard. Like, they expect to, unless you're exceptionally gifted, you're not going to master a language or master quantum mechanics in a few months' time. You're not. You may become proficient at some of the basics. If you're very gifted, yes, you may learn that language inside and out. But you're probably pushing yourself way too hard if you expect to go from not knowing a word and not understanding how the language is structured to complete adult fluency. in the space of a few months. It's just not going to work. You need practice, you need to speak to native speakers, everything else. Same thing for anything else. With spirituality, it's kind of insane to think you're going to go from never having worked with that spirituality or religion before to being an advanced practitioner in a few months' time. Now, there are people that will sell you kits and say you are, but it doesn't work that way. I'm kind of sorry, but it doesn't work that way. It takes time, and it's okay that it takes time. The gods aren't expecting us all to become enlightened star people or whatever people are trying to become right now. That we're holding it together and that we're learning what works for us is a lot more better and useful than us all trying to do this, whatever it is. I've seen some rather strange pins, so in some rather strange YouTube videos, so I'm like, go ahead. You do you, and I think it's natural to want to take advantage of the time we've been given, which is, great and useful, but it's also a lot of pressure to put on yourself, and I realized I was putting too much of pressure on myself to advance too quickly, and you advance at the rate that's good for you. Because if you try to go too fast, and I can tell you from experience, you're just going to backslide and you're going to kind of close in yourself and keep yourself stuck in the backslid area, and you're going to be miserable and unhappy. And you're going to keep yourself trapped there because you were freaking out, because as you progress, it's all new territory. So it's like putting one little fox paw at a time out into this new territory and touching it. You can just sit there and look at it for the longest time. You don't have to run ahead and get some kind of ascended mastery or anything else right now. It's okay to spend the whole day just watching TV. The gods aren't keeping a list of, well, okay, you didn't work on your spiritual studies today, we're going to punish you. That's not what the gods are doing. They're like, okay, you are already starting to identify the stuff in your work that you don't like. Like, here's this book I have on Odin that I don't enjoy, and I think it's a really toxic representation of Odin, and I think it's very easy, and I've done it myself, to take the worst possible aspects of Odin and focus on that. And Odin is a god that, if that's how you choose to see him, that's what he'll give you. But if you chose instead to focus on the best possible aspects, which I haven't seen a book on Odin like that yet, um, you get a very different experience. But it's kind of hard to do that because, like I said, there's no books out there, there's no articles out there. The people that do talk about Odin like that, most people discount them, or they end up not seriously working with Odin, as I've noticed. So it's kind of scary territory to enter nice Odin territory, because people that have always seen him heretofore is more aggressive or frightening or something, or a little scared to go into nice Odin territory. And we put a little fox paw in there and we pull it back, and we look at Loki with really big eyes, and we put a little fox paw in there and we pull it back. But he does have nicer, more stable aspects, I swear. Oski is super nice to work with. He's very gentle and very calming, and he's the one that's the most stable, most, say, emotionally mature. And you know what I mean. Odin is always Odin, but he will give back to you what you see him as. So if you see him as this jealous, territorial god that will let no other gods around you, that's exactly what he's going to give you. And that was all on me. And that was not a fun spiritual truth to admit to, but that was all on me. Same thing for Loki, same thing for the demons, angels, saints, whatever. If you tend to see them a certain way, they're like, okay, if that's what you want, okay, that's how I'll be. And I know atheists take that and they'll run with it and they'll say, well, this is because you're making it up. No, it's because they're all very obliging, from the gods to the angels to saints to ghosts to spirits to Loa to fairies to everything you're ever going to interact with, your totems included. After a while, they're gonna realize how you see them, and they're just gonna be like, okay, and they're gonna act that way. Or, your filter is so strong, the filter you're using to see them through is so strong, they could be acting totally nice, and you're like seeing this big scary god or whatever, so that's what you're dealing with. I'm getting dragon back here. Yes, baby. I used to work with dragons, so Loki wants some dragon energy in the house. He's dancing around. He's having excitement. Did I tell you this recording? I got dragged out of bed last night. I did, by Oski and Loki, and they dragged me out of bed, and they wanted TV. meaning computer. They wanted YouTube in the worst way, and they wanted me to get a Kinder Egg and a cup of coffee and Jesus back in the house. And they all wanted me to find like a movie to watch or something. So we opened up this Kinder Egg, and I got an Oski bear in it. He's up there between the two Loki foxes. So I know I have my little Oski bear. And it was kind of Odin's way of saying, okay, you're finally ready to step up and try to work with me differently. You don't have a book, you don't have a website. I realize you're going to hyperventilate. Please don't. But it's kind of nice, and the energy in the house was so much nicer. I think that's why he did what he did last night. He came down super heavy to go, okay, we could have this, but then, oh, hand you Oski and go, but this is also equally valid. So it'll be nice. And, it's one of the things you get afraid of going into new territory. We all do. We've all been freaking out in 2020 because we're in new territory. Now we got these goddamn murder hornets running around. It's like, seriously, can this country catch a break ever? Like, murder hornets? Like, I wish it turned out like they did something remotely useful. No, they kill honeybees, damn it. It's like, why can't we get a break in this country? Hopefully there's like something native to this country that thinks they're yummy. But, it is what it is. 2020 is an insane year, but we'll make it through it, guys. And I know a lot of you are probably going through a lot of this too, and it's like you feel like you're crazy. Just check your discernment and go forward just a little bit at a time and let yourself get used to whatever you're going forward towards. I think and I see in a lot of people that are new, it has nothing to do with age, this idea that you have to jump in the deep end and you have to become an ascended master in 5 minutes. Spirituality doesn't work that way. It's day after day after day after day. Think about it. If whatever religion you were raised in, you were baptized as a baby, you would have been taken to church as a child or synagogue or temple or wherever you went, and you were in that for over a decade. And you certainly wouldn't have been considered a priest or, a monk or anything. So maybe you're in it to your, say 18 or 20, 21, whatever age your parents were like, okay, this isn't working for you. So you did that for decades, but you're still not considered a priest or, somebody who can officiate. You would have to go on for longer training for that, and that would take years as well. So think of it that way. You can spend your whole life in something and still not attain not mastery. I don't think we ever master anything, but attain a high level. And that's okay. Not everybody has to be at the high level. Wicca meant well by letting us all be high priests and priestesses, but then I think we took that and thought it meant that the moment we're interested in something, we're the high priest or priestess of it. No, we are not. It doesn't quite work that way. That's why I say working with the gods and goddesses, angels, saints, demons, whatever, it makes a lot more sense than saying that you are high priest or priestess, because that kind of implies that you have all this spiritual training experience, and it's kind of odd to say if you just started working with them that day. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye bye.